Hello and welcome to
PK
PK Talk.
Talk.
I am your host. This is our very first episode. I'm so excited. I am Charmaine, and this is my co host, Ty. We have been knowing each other for over 30 years, and we both are PKs. Ty, what do you have anything to say? Because I'm so excited. This is a unique way to talk about our different perspectives of growing up as a PK.
All right. Yeah. So this is again PK Talk. And of course, we know that PK means preacher
Preacher's
kid.
kids.
So being a preacher's kid, I mean, as myself, it means like living a life that is full of blessings, but also comes with a lot of pressure and expectations from the church or just dealing with the normal life. So, pretty much as being a PK, we have seen it all.
Yes. We're
But
giving a backstage pass. We're giving y'all are getting a backstage pass of what really goes on behind the scenes of being a PK.
so I'm excited about this PK talk too, but why PK talk, Sean?
Oh my God. Why PK Talk? PK Talk is needed because it's different, unique perspectives, backgrounds, transparencies of community, spirituality, and just us personally growing up in the church and our different experiences. And I'm just excited about it. I think we're going to really have some very deep topics and things that need to
To be discussed.
discussed that haven't been discussed. Well, not properly discussed, you
Correct.
know?
And I also believe like it will give a diverse voice in because like every PK's journey is different, and but it will this show will showcase a wide range of backgrounds, belief, and experiences, and it also will give us relatable conversations
Right,
because even though like we may have grew up in different homes,
right,
we still have a lot of similar experiences
right.
as growing up.
Hot
Yeah,
topics.
and
Ooh,
being a preacher kid. So
yes.
like we was talking earlier about one is our we both experience our families allowing other families
Helping
of the
other
church,
families in church.
yeah,
Yes.
staying in our homes.
Living with,
Yeah.
it was a lot of people that I thought were
Yeah,
cousins that were not.
they were
They were
not.
not
Yeah.
cousins. That was Uncle Jojo. No, it wasn't. It was somebody from the church that got kicked out. And I mean, yeah,
But so
yeah,
that's also some things that we'll be talking about
yeah.
on PK Talk.
PK talk.
And then
We're gonna be talking about from the pulpit to the pew.
yes.
Yes,
And we'll be
yes.
having special guests.
Special
Yes.
guests. We're gonna have PKs from all around, um, different denominations, that are gonna come on and just give their story because there's a lot of stories.
Oh yes.
Oh my God, we have a lot of stories.
That's on our own.
Like on our own. I mean, but we're gonna have all different. We're also gonna bring in pastors because
Hmm.
we don't want to seem one sided, even though it's called PK Talk. We're gonna have pastors on to give their perspective
Right.
and
Our own
our
fathers.
own
We're gonna
fathers.
have our own
Yes,
fathers to come
yes,
on and
yes,
join us on PK Talk to get
yes.
their
We will. We
perspective.
will.
So
Now,
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be.
it's
No,
gonna.
I know it's
I
gonna
know.
be a great,
It's gonna
great
be a
show. Yeah.
great show. I think everybody should tune in. Y'all might need to get some popcorn for this because we're gonna. I think we just need to go just out there, just put it out there for our first episode. What do you want to talk about?
Ooh, so the hot topic right now is church hurt.
That's not even a hot topic. That's like the always
The
topic.
always topic, the always
Always air quote church hurt.
church hurt. So let's talk about it. So we're gonna make our first episode today about church hurt.
Church hurt.
So
Diving in. I think we should first have a definition of what church hurt is, or what some may feel church hurt is,
okay,
or we can give even the dictionary word for hurt.
okay. So let's do this. Let's look up let's look up the word church. Like we all know what these
Church.
words
Okay, because
what these words
I just
mean.
want to do a plug real quick for a church is in my book that I wrote, which is the Book of C's. It's available on Amazon, as well as if you would like to get it from us or our link. I will have that up for you to purchase if you would like to. But church is in there, which is I just wanted to do
Yeah,
that.
you
real
would put
quick.
that's
Just a
okay.
plug, real quick.
We're gonna let her put her book out there. I don't have my book
I
yet,
mean,
but I
it's
mean,
okay.
but
You know.
I'm getting there. I'm gonna be like Charmaine one
Oh,
day.
no,
Yeah,
you don't
one
have to
day.
be like me. You can just be like Ty. Be like Ty. She's a playwright, so she definitely has some books on it. She
One day.
separate uh, characters and all that kind of stuff. I don't do all that, but
Well, one day.
and
One
you
day.
know that's another thing. That'll be another topic for the gifts and the talents that are in
Mm,
being PKs. There's a lot of gifted
it is.
musicians and singers and orchestrated administrative type.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And you
Yeah,
learn, and that's another topic too. What like the positions that you learn being
being
in the
oh yeah, I
ministry that
definitely.
we don't even matter of fact put on our resumes.
This is true because
It
we don't think
we don't think
them
about it. But
right.
that's another topic. But anyways, we're
Yeah,
gonna go back to church.
church hurt.
Okay,
Let's stay focused.
so church means
Uh-huh.
a
It's a building.
building used for public Christian
Belief.
worship.
Worship. Mm-hmm.
So that's what church means.
Right.
Now, as far as what hurt means, like I said, of course we know, the words, what they mean, but it's always good to go
Just to
back
look
and
them up,
reference.
just so you can have
Um,
a actual you actually can see for yourself that we're not making up these definitions.
right.
That's always good to have.
So this is the Webster Dictionary of
Hurt.
hurt,
Uh-huh.
and it went to wound. Okay.
Read. No,
All
that's
right.
what they say in
I
church.
know we need to get us a reader. Like what's his
Read.
name, Pastor Gino? He got him a reader.
You got him a reader?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, he
Okay.
does. Okay. So it's hurt means to
Read.
don't
I w-
bear any
let's
attention.
just put it out there that I'm very silly. In church, I was always the one with MC.
She's the
and
one that you don't sit by
You do,
in
oh
church.
no, you don't.
Yeah.
I would
Mm-mm.
definitely get in trouble
Yeah.
because
You
I would
definitely.
laugh. I would laugh in a minute.
And we're gonna tell a quick story. So I remember we was at church one day.
What?
This is sidebar.
Oh my God!
That's
I'm
why you
not-
shouldn't sit by her. We was in church one day, and
Which time? I mean,
it was long time ago.
okay.
And somebody came up to sing. They said, "Oh, I want to sing a song," and her daddy let them come up and sing. You remember that?
Which,
I don't. We was off
what happened?
was it Broad Street? Not Broad. What was that street?
Collins?
Barden.
Yes, Bride.
Broad.
No, Border.
Border Street,
Border
yeah, in
Street.
Arlington.
Uh-huh.
And we was having service, and he let somebody come up
Oh
and
my God,
sing.
he's always letting somebody
And
get up and sing.
honey, I try to avoid looking at Charmaine. And she hadn't even said nothing yet. But soon as I
Yeah.
looked at her, I just bust out laughing in church. Now, literally bust out laughing while the lady was singing in church.
It's unfortunate.
That was unfortunate. Anyways, okay, church. Sorry.
Don't sit by me.
Don't
in
sit-
Church.
don't look at
no,
her
I'm
and-
better now.
Don't sit by her
I
and
think,
don't
no,
look
I think
at her.
I'm better now.
But
I think
no, you're not. Okay, so the word
hurt.
hurt means
I could be hurt from that right now.
I was hurt
It-
because I got in trouble. To inflict with
Oh, well.
physical pain, which means wound.
right.
To do substantial or material harm to, which is damage. To
Ooh.
cause emotional
Emotional, yeah,
pain
that's
or
what I was looking
anguish
for.
to,
I
which
was
is
looking for.
offend. And then to be detrimental to, which is hamper. So when we say church hurt, we put the words together. We're saying that we're allowing a physical building to inflict physical pain or emotional pain
injury. Is
or
it?
injury.
Yes.
To us. That's what we're saying when we say we have
Church
hurt.
Church hurt.
So
The air
how
quotes.
can a building, unless the building falls on top of you, then that can cause
Yeah, that can happen.
physical
'cause
pain. Now,
plumbing
it
and the
can.
wall comes
Yeah,
in sometimes. But that's
That's all we're talking
that's
about.
those storefront churches. We didn't really-
But as far as what we're saying, as far as church hurt, we're saying that we're allowing a physical building to cause us injury. Now, I was
Well,
telling,
that's not what people are saying.
no, no, no.
That's not their definition.
No, I know that's not their definition,
Right.
but that's what the
That's the
definition
definition
is. So we
is.
got to sometimes, let's say, let it make sense.
Yeah.
But I was telling Charmaine earlier that I really didn't go through any church hurt because she said I was rebellious.
No, I didn't say you were rebellious.
Yes, you did.
You were rebellious.
And I was rebellious. So,
Yeah,
and
was.
I didn't allow, probably I didn't allow church hurt because I didn't let people get close enough to me to cause
Right.
church
She was
hurt.
rebellious.
But
Rebellious. I don't think we were friends when we first met. Actually,
no, she just did my hair for prom. But anyway,
I did, and she went with my brother.
wait, don't be telling all the business. We might not want nobody to know that. Okay.
We
Anyway,
have pictures somewhere. Document. Like we got documents.
yeah, but still.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway,
Stay
okay.
focused.
Stay focused, Charmaine. So tell us about church hurt because you have more experience in the church hurt than I would say I
Do
do.
I? Okay.
I mean,
Well,
knowing more about it.
Okay. So I think that I'm not really sure where church hurt started for me, but I did become rebellious in my late teens. Especially when I started driving. For some reason, I would be late to church, and if I was still under my parents' roof, and what did they say? Did they tell you the same thing?
Well, you had to
As long
leave
as
the
you,
house.
as long as you
live
live
in my
in,
house, you
yeah,
had
you
to go
live
to
on,
church.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. As long as you live in my house, you gonna go to church.
Yeah.
Okay, you gonna be under my rules. That was, I think that I actually didn't consider that church hurt because it was just the norm for me. You know, I think that some of the things that we went through that might have been kind of dysfunctional,
hmm
we wasn't aware that they were dysfunctional because we were in it.
Right.
Kind of like a person, and not saying it was abuse, but I'm saying people that are abusive, some people that are in abusive relationships, they're not really aware that they're abusive until they're out of it.
Right.
And then they be like, oh my God, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like when you're in something, you don't really think of it uh, for the most part as being hurt or
or dysfunctional.
dysfunctional. And I think that's a story in itself, a topic in itself to talk about dysfunctions growing up in the church or
It's
as
normal. It becomes a norm. It's not normal, but we just like I said, we function in dysfunction,
right.
and it's not normal. But
We don't know that.
we don't know that. But I think with church hurt, we don't realize until later on that
Right.
some of our
Some of that
actions
wasn't
comes from, and I could say the church hurt or church abuse, if you want to
right.
put it out
This
there like
is
that.
true.
So,
Ooh.
so yeah,
What did Miles say? He said that abuse, ignorance is not knowing the true
you
um,
said purpose
purpose
or
of it.
intentions
Yes,
of,
the
yeah.
intentions of something. That means it's abuse. R.I.P. Miles Monroe. We I'm still
But
chewing on his
and
stuff.
even in saying that though, Charmaine, and when saying the abuse, and I think that goes back, we were saying earlier, in the positions in the church. Do
Right.
you really
Do
know?
you know
Do you,
properly?
yeah,
Do you
what
know properly how to
what your position is,
yeah, what your position is, and do you know how to
what it's intended for,
what it's intended for, and how to orchestrate
apply
or
it.
apply it
hmm
or delegate
hmm
the position. And church hurt, and this is let's just first, it has to be said, this is not to discredit
hmm
my upbringing. I
Right.
can't speak for her. I'm not discrediting my upbringing because a lot of things I think were structure.
Right.
It was structure for me to really, I didn't understand it at the time. I mean, middle of the night, my parents come in there putting oil, and we sleep, we kids, and they praying. So the dynamics of growing up in that household and then being timely, my daddy's very timely.
Mm.
If you
So
was
is
late,
mine.
if you was late, that was he would be upset if
Oh yeah.
you running
Can you
late.
please be on time for
Be on
church?
time for
Well, my
church.
lateness is my own time, but
Well,
okay.
yeah. What I mean, I think that it was a lot of structure. Uh, we it was kind of strict. Um, it, and I'll say this about parents: they are learning how to parent as we are learning how to be
Children.
children and young adults. As we grow, they are growing, we're growing, and they're learning how to process and doing the best they can, depending on their own background
Right.
of how they were raised. So church hurt is just it's one of those things that,
What do we say it stems from though?
well, I would say it definitely can stem from the position of the pastor,
Mm-hmm.
the dynamics of as the word says, it trickles from the head to the beard to the rest of the body. So I I'm not blaming, because sometimes pastors can be unaware of there's different um it I don't domination, manipulation. Um,
Let's
it it can
Let
go.
me go back. Let me ask this. Then I'm sitting thinking about it. So again, to me, it's going to be who is in the head, because a lot of times, even physically, if you think physically, if you will
Mhm.
your brain
Is gonna do whatever
is
your
going
body
to
say.
do what your body says.
Right.
So if you have a certain illness, but you tell your body, I'm
I'm good.
I'm good,
Right.
then eventually
You're gonna feel
you're
better.
going to feel better.
Well, the Bible says, "As a man thinketh in his
Right.
heart, so is he." So
So I believe,
we are biblically based.
yeah,
Yeah.
that so when I say like who is putting these people, and this is like
In
church hurt,
position.
who is putting these people in positions? Who
Who put
ordained
them
you
in
as
authority
an
as
authority,
the
as a
pastor?
pastor? Because this is
Yeah.
why you
That's
got some
good.
church hurt,
That's
because
good.
who made you,
And
who,
you may not, you didn't put your own
yeah,
self as a
exactly,
pastor. You done ordained
you done
yourself.
just started a
You
church.
felt like, oh, I got the call. Hello, I'm gonna be a pastor.
Exactly. And then so now you didn't put yourself in position, and
You
then
put your
now
own self,
you didn't put the elder in position, and the
and you didn't.
deacon
Yeah,
in
you didn't put it. You
position,
didn't got you a team. You didn't
and
got you a
yeah, so
team.
now you got all these people in positions,
Right.
and nobody's been taught right.
Nobody.
Everybody's going by their own
There,
religion
and
and
it says,
mindset.
not lean
Yeah,
not to your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him. Him is Christ. Him is God. That's who we are supposed to be covered under, and this is who are we supposed to be obeying. This is who we are. He's the ultimate authority.
right.
So I think that yes, that is very it starts from the head. And who put you in that
Yeah,
position?
who
So
put you
that's a
there?
very good point. And a lot of times you can get in position that, even I'll say this, even that you have been called to,
Mm-hmm.
ordained to, and you can get puffed up. You can
Mm-hmm.
get prideful. You
Very.
can get caught up in the rapture of
That caught up in the
the,
hype
in the hype.
and the glory, and the
Yes.
because you're
You're
glorified
yeah.
so much
You've
that
been
now it's taken away from God, and now it's
it's
self.
you.
Yeah, so you get caught up in that, and I think that also goes back to that person, because if you think about it, what were you lacking as with self,
With self.
that you would come and take God from it and make it about yourself?
Ooh,
So
Ty, that's
so
good.
sometimes it's
Now
like
that was, come on. That was a word, honey.
that
That was a word.
message. So
Message.
a lot of times those pastors who fall short, you have to go back
Are you
sometimes.
like, well, I'll say this. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance.
Oh, a major
And
difference.
I think it's a thin line. Now, I do know some secular songs. It's a thin line between love and hate.
Mm,
But um, narrow is the way, is what the word says. And you have to separate, because I do believe that you do have to be confident um in the word,
right,
confident and believe what you are saying.
right,
You do have to be confident in Christ
right,
to be able to minister, to distribute his word, and come across as trusting and believable.
right.
But when you get in arrogance, you come over to
It's
arrogance
you. It's self.
itself.
Yeah.
And I think that we just have to uh, be mindful that and always stay humble.
But that goes back to that, those again, to
Yeah,
those
to be
childhoods or those personal issues that you may
that
have.
may be
Because yeah,
unresolved.
well, because like it's kind of like if you, and this is my opinion, of course,
Right,
like some people that get into become officers of the law, some of
right,
them really want to help people,
right.
and some of them really, they
And
were bullied,
it could be based on something.
and now
Yeah,
I got a position, so now you can't tell me what to do, or you can't bully me because now I have power.
I'm in the
I'm in a
position. Right,
position now.
right, right,
So sometimes it's like with some of these pastors, it could be, well, maybe I was talked about as a young, or somebody said
right,
I wasn't going to be nothing
right.
as young. Now I'm a pastor, and everybody's
Now
glorifying me, and
everybody see
everybody's
me.
praising me, and they,
I'm driving that
yeah,
Cadillac.
exactly.
Okay.
And so that's how sometimes it goes from the confident
Right.
to the arrogance.
Yes.
And but I would
You can get caught up. And I think that, now that's where we that'll be another subject. Grace.
mm,
That's where grace comes in.
but I can grace not sitting up under you too.
Now that's true.
Now
I
that's
think that everybody has a measure of grace and mercy that God
Mhm,
allows, because we know that even in the Bible He has people. David, which was a man after His own heart,
mhm.
he did
Oh,
some
oh yeah,
stuff.
David was. Woo.
He had some issues that he needed to address, and God helped him
You said
address.
address. Now he did an issue that he needed to be resolved. Ain't no
he, need-
address.
he needed to, well, however you want to say it, he
Ooh,
needed some help, and God helped him.
deliverance.
Well, he did,
Well,
but he was still a man after God's own
no,
heart.
but he
So
was.
we are not the judge
No,
of who is supposed to be in position, nor am I trying to say that.
no, that's not
But
what we're saying.
I will say this. Now, this is
Who put you there? That's
who
all I'm
put you
saying.
there,
Who put you
because
there?
a lot of times church hurt can stem from the person of authority.
And that's what I was saying to
Because
Charmaine
we got
earlier.
some mean ushers.
Oh, we got some mean church members.
Ooh,
It's like
the character of some
oh,
people,
you come
yeah,
into church, and I
they're
mean,
not welcoming.
you should
Spit
now.
your gum out.
Now, what I'm
Now,
gonna
I
say
mean,
is
that's proper, but
I
why
mean,
you gotta be
but
mean?
exactly,
You
it's
gotta-
everything is in how you do things. So
everything decent in order.
decent in
That's
order.
the
So
scripture.
when you do go to church, now even though it does says come as you are, it's the same to me. The same respect that you give your job, they have certain policies that they go by in dress
Right.
code
Guidelines.
guidelines that you.
What dress code is gonna be, we're
That's
definitely,
another
that's
topic.
another topic. That's
But
another
yes,
topic.
so it's kind of like the same. Even like when you go to the club. Now, I'm just take example. I went to Miami one time. This is in my backsliding days, and we was standing in
Sliding
line.
back.
But yes, and we were at the club in the standing in line,
Uh-huh.
and they had a certain dress code. We were overdressed,
Oh.
and we didn't get in the club because we
Oh.
were overdressed.
Overdressed.
Overdressed. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
So it's like when you come to church, you should have you should dress a certain way, just out of respect.
I think.
It's
Yeah.
respect of
But
where
we
you're
don't
going.
want to stay on that.
No,
We
no,
want to
but
talk about the hurt.
that's what I'm talking about though.
Okay.
But I'm
Okay.
going there. I'm going there.
Okay.
So what I'm saying
She's
is,
circling around.
I'm just giving an
She's
example.
like her daddy. It's a preacher.
Yeah.
That's the preacher that go all around
It come back.
and come back.
I'm trying to give you
coulda-
examples
You
here.
could have GPS straight shot.
Well,
but
sometimes you should take a scenic route. So
Yeah.
that's why you don't know a lot of things, because you don't take scenic routes. Anyways,
telling the story.
what I'm trying to say is, with the people, when you come into the church,
Uh-huh.
but this is where a lot of the church hurt stems from, is how you're handled when you initially come in the church.
Mm.
So if you're dressed a certain way, you look a certain way, you as a member of the church should not make that person feel unwelcomed.
Right.
You should have to say, even if you say, well, welcome, whatever, and then as they continue to come,
Right.
then you start to teach them how to dress or how to act, because they may not know.
Right. They
So,
haven't been in that class.
or even if you've been there for a while and you're seeking guidance from certain peoples, it's a way that you handle people, and that's where,
Okay.
to me, some stuff can start to.
And I agree with that. However, we have to deal, and we're going to deal with that too. There's another topic, offense, because some people carry the spirit of offense. And if you are easily offended, or you already have that in you.
Mm-hmm.
If you come in, it doesn't matter if they say good morning, you still offended. If they say welcome to church, you're still offended. If they, even in some churches, I remember going to a church, and I thought I was in proper dress code. I had a skirt on, I had sandals on though, and my toes was out, and a usher literally came over and gave me a whole sheet to cover up
Mm.
my whole lap, you know.
And I probably would have whole walked out the
Well,
door.
I didn't walk out.
I
I mean,
know.
I didn't,
Don't pay me no attention,
but
Jen.
I'm saying I could have been offended, but because I didn't have offense in me. But at the same time, that was probably because I grew up in church. I
Right.
know there's different dynamics and different denominations that have certain ways that they do things.
Mm-hmm.
So when in Rome, do as the Romans. Well, I thought I was Roman, but I toes was out. But it's okay. But I'm saying that a spirit of offense also can be the cause of church hurt, where it's not the individual, even with the order of the structure of how you come to somebody.
Right.
There also may be something that, regardless of how pleasant or nice you come to them and say, "Hey, sister, hey, I see you. Did you let me take you shopping or whatever?" Well, I don't need no clothes. There's a spirit in there. There's an offense or something. You may want to come as you are, but you're not supposed to leave the same. And in that, when God starts working on you, which that's another subject, being mature, carnal minded,
And being convicted
or being
yourself.
convicted
Yeah.
yourself. Exactly. So I think that we need to really just address how to address church hurt if it's an individual thing, because at the end of the day, the enemy wants to keep you from church. He wants to keep you from fellowshipping together, because there's unity in community.
So let's go from so we can do it from both. So it could be a spirit of offense, and it could be people in the church that's also. But
that has flaws.
But I think what the church hurt that is that people are probably talking about is more so the things that are going on in the church that is causing the hurt to those people that are members or coming.
Okay, give me an example. Give me, because it's a lot. This church hurt thing is like, it's worldwide. It's a thing. So
Somebody gave me an example like I think it was like they were a musician. They were not a musician. They were in the choir or something like that. And it was like, if you didn't know such and such, you didn't get to sing a solo part, or
it was
or there were cliques in the church.
Respect the person.
Yeah, there were certain cliques in the church.
It's definitely cliques in the church. It's definitely cliques.
Things like that, or
you wanted to get close to the. I had the at one of my issues. It wasn't a church hurt for me. I just had to recognize it. Some people wanted to be close to me because I was the pastor's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people would talk about me because I was the pastor's daughter. So
yeah,
you got it on all.
Yeah,
on both ends.
Both ends. So
yeah,
it could be again that you just have a spirit of offense, and then that would be, and that's another thing though. Like, you do need to look within yourself.
Right.
Do you have a spirit of offense,
right,
or is it truly someone in the church has hurt you? Now, what we got to again separate though is the church is in you.
Right. And the church is supposed to be the hospital.
Right.
It's a metaphor of the hospital, as in where you come to get help, where you come to heal.
The physical building of.
Right.
So
it's supposed to be a place of healing and restoration and all those things. That's the church is the church is the body of Christ.
Right. But
just
because but my thing is, if you go to Arlington Memorial and they do something, are you not going to go to Medical City of Arlington? Are you just going to stop going to any hospitals because one?
Some people have.
Well, that's why you're going to be in a grave somewhere.
Yeah,
and
that's an offense.
And that's foolishness.
Yes, it is.
So
it's a spirit of offense.
So you
have to recognize. That's another thing we have so many topics. Oh my God, y'all need to get ready for this. Get your popcorn. Get your
the breakdown of church hurt for me. Then you can give your breakdown.
Go ahead.
My breakdown would be, again, recognize, is it within self?
Mm-hmm.
or is it truly where you're going? And if it's within self, then deal with self. If it is where you're going, then that may not be the church for you. But that's why you would need to go, you would need to pray. And you should pray before you just go join any church and
This is
and
true.
who you're sitting up on the leadership. Because as
Right.
I was telling Charmaine, it to me it starts with your head. What is the head of the house, the shepherd? What is he doing within the church that is that or he's not doing that may be causing people within the church to cause this type of hurt? Like she said, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't
Mhm.
make them drink.
Right.
But you still have to be mindful of what's going on in your church. And a lot
Right.
of times they want to delegate, but
Right.
you still need to follow up because that's how a lot of people get robbed or all their money get taken because you are not going back
You're
and
not paying
you're not paying
attention.
attention and checking your funds. And I'm saying your funds is your members and what's going on and how they're handling your other
Right.
members. So that's mine.
Okay. And that's a good perspective. I would say for me, church hurt, first of all, I think that we need to get over it. I, get over. I mean, and I say that I'm trying to say that in the nicest way. Get over the fact that um, we need to really just be mindful that the enemy comes to do what? Kill,
Kill,
steal,
steal,
and
and
destroy.
destroy.
So if he can get you to be offended or to have any type of hurt from church or being in church or somebody that's supposed to be or a Christian and they may be a Christian or a believer uh to that hurts you or offends you, uh address that and
Mhm.
try to address. Even the Bible says, if you feel that if your neighbor offends you,
Mhm.
you go to them. If they don't receive you, then you bring somebody else. Not in a messy way,
Right.
but in a form of it was a man. One of my quotes. He said that confrontation is the resolution to healing
Mm.
because you want to be in unity with people. So some things you have to confront, as in confrontation. I'm not going to be combative,
Right.
but I'm saying to confront the situation. If the pastor says something, if you're able to be reachable uh, uh, to the pastor, hey, let me pull them. Can I set up a meeting?
Mhm.
If you feel like Sister So and so did something to you and you're offended, hey, so and so, I think that offended me. Can we go to the past? And, some things can depend on the character of the people because you have to realize that some people, just because they believe, that's a confession
Right.
to say, I confess with my heart, believe in my heart and confess with my mouth that I believe in God and I believe that Jesus died, raised, was rose again. That's a confession. That doesn't mean that's your character.
Right.
As you mature, you're supposed to take on the character of Christ.
Right.
So I would say that some people's character have flaws. We're all, we're trying
Yeah.
to be better. I want to be better every day,
Yeah.
So there are times that may be things that may be offensive. So once again, you go to that, try to fix that, and if it can't be fixed, then you have to make some decisions to say, okay, maybe I have to leave Sister So and So alone
Right.
and I can sit on this side of the church.
Right.
And if that's the case, if there's still some agitation or whatever, then you have to clean. Sometimes things are there, like that scripture that says a thorn in my side.
Mhm.
That's to keep you in check.
Mm. Okay.
To
Mhm.
see, can you rise above
Right.
what somebody says or what somebody does or whatever the case may be. Um, but then if you know that there's some dysfunction and some things, then you pray and
Right.
sometimes you have to fast because you want to make sure you're hearing the right voice. And
Right.
if that's something that's telling you, hey, this is not right, and you've tried to confront it or, talk to the pastor or the individuals, depending on the situations, then you know you've done all you can. And then you make decisions to not leave church, but find you another body of believers.
Right.
But I like to say this, just like we were talking earlier, and you said about the club. We would go to the club. Yeah, we used to go to the club. Okay.
Yeah. Ain't no point in
We used to
lying.
go to the club. And for me, I know, hey, oh my God, they were shooting and we duck. We do this and we move around.
She went back. I ain't go back. So
Well, I mean, yeah, I went back. So I'm saying if that didn't offend me, uh, the club that they had a shooting at or somebody got into a fight or whatever, and you went back,
it didn't stop you
it
though.
didn't stop you from going. Then you shouldn't let something that that may
Just
cause
find another club. I mean, I
another
mean, not saying not
a
go to club.
church.
I'm saying, but you would just find another club to go to.
But sometimes people went to the same
No,
club
I'm just
because that club was
okay. That
happening,
that was foolish. But I'm saying
and we did a lot of foolish
we did. Wait,
things.
we did. But see, but that's when when you
When you
don't.
say when I'm a child, I thought as a
I thought of the
child, I did
child,
childish
but
things.
I'm not a child no more. So don't.
Right,
So with the church hurt, don't leave the church.
right.
Just again, maybe leave that
Particular,
particular church
yes,
and have
and
God
have lead
lead
you
you
and guide
to
you.
the correct church
Right,
that
that's for
that
you,
you. Yeah,
and
exactly.
that may be hard in this day and time, and day and time. It's because
But
there's a lot going on with these pastors.
but
Oh my
that's another
God,
thing. But that's another topic though.
that's another
But see, this is the
topic.
thing that also a lot of times we are even, and I'm gonna just say this, like how we are with brand. We want to wear was it
Name brand.
name brand Louis because it's a brand. And to me, this is again my opinion. That's it. It don't look like nothing. You put a t-shirt on, it has a name. Now I will say this: brand does mean something because if you go spend $2,000 on a shirt that just says that person's name, then hey, I'm not mad at the person. But you go to church because of who the pastor is and not if you're truly being
That's
fed
true.
or not if
That's a
you're
good
truly
point.
being
That's a good point.
delivered or you truly getting what you
You going
supposed to
for
be
his name,
getting
the
for
name,
yeah, so you're
right,
going because I'm going to his church,
right.
and that to me it goes back to the same thing. Don't go because of I'm going to such and such church where such and such don't know your name, don't know nothing about you. And from what I was told, if you get into a struggle, you have to go through hoops and high
To
waters
get on the line,
to get assistance,
get the
and then you
line.
still may not get assistance. So again, you don't go to you go to church because that's where God has
Oh my God, we gonna
led you
get
to
in
go.
so much trouble. I want to just say this, okay? We have to put disclaimers out.
These are our own
These
opinions.
are our own opinions, okay? So there's nothing like Indy already says, nothing that we saying is law, okay? Um,
In my
in
opinion.
my opinion, these are opinions, just like we have noses. We have everybody has one. But these are, and I like to always say this: consider the source. So we're giving you our perspective from things that we've already went through,
Hmm.
things that we've endured,
As PKs.
as PKs, and still are, some things we still are enduring. Um, but I think that this is just like the tip. We want y'all to really dive in. We're gonna start giving out our social media handles and emails and things like that because we want feedback
Right.
on even perspectives and stories, so we can look over those things and maybe even have
You
come
might
back.
have be a guest
Yes,
on
you
our
could get
show.
on the show. And these topics are very serious. We don't take it lightly. I will say I like to laugh a lot, and some things are funny to me. But I'm not discounting
Right.
people's experiences or stories for that matter. But church hurt can go on. Ty, we can go all day on church hurt because um, people are hurting that are in church, and I think that uh, that you have an individual walk and you come to church to a community or body of most everybody. And I'm gonna say this: my daddy would say, everybody that's at the bus station ain't there to catch the bus. Okay, so everybody that's in church don't mean
That they're
that
in
they're
church.
really the church is in them.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, some people are there out of tradition,
And for
uh,
other
normal, just yeah.
ulterior motive.
This is true. So there's several different reasons why individuals are at church or go to
And please
church.
don't watch that show. I ain't even gonna say a name, but you if you know what show I'm talking about and think that's the correct representation of church.
Yeah, I like that show.
But it's not. Don't. But
But
see,
for some it
now
is.
for some,
For some
but
it
that's but
is.
I'm talking
Some
about. I'm talking about true
true
belief.
believers.
No,
True
not
believers.
true kingdom minded
Oh, that's a good one. Not
believers.
kingdom minded. She pulled out the big
Kingdom
words.
minded, because you have to have a
Kingdom minded principles.
principles. You have to have a. It's again. It goes to the mindset,
Yes.
and even with
The mind of Christ.
the mind, that's getting the mind. Yeah, the mind of Christ mindset. It's all what the mindset. So if you
Right.
have a kingdom minded person, it's
Right.
going to be handled even differently than someone who just believes.
Right.
Because you have, that's why you have successful people. I believe I'm going to be a star, but if you never apply the things
Right.
that needs to go with you being a star,
Right.
then it tells you that your
Right.
mentality is different.
The application.
But that's another
Right.
thing we're going to talk about, application. But because we have something about the application and ABCs or some
Yes,
things
this
coming
is
up
true.
too.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Oh
we
my
have a
God.
lot
We have a
of
lot.
great topics that we want
Yes, we do.
to
I'm
talk about
excited.
on PK Talk. We are
Yes.
so excited. This was given to Charmaine.
It did. It was a
and
vision. I
It was a
had.
vision. And, I was like, let's do it. I'm always that let's do stuff.
It is.
And I'll be ready. I don't care what it is. I mean, I do care what it is.
Yeah.
But if
If it's
is
anything edifying,
edifying
Christ, yes.
and productive, and that is going to be for my good or our good, then let's do it.
Right.
But I would say to that is that it still stem back from even like I'm big on mental health now. Is
You know, they didn't talk about that when we were growing up.
that's another
They
thing.
just said that baby crazy.
But you know what? But that's another topic, though.
That's another
that
topic.
everything was
We're going to talk about mental health.
That
We're gonna
mental
talk,
health, everything
we're
was
gonna
to
talk
go
about
pray.
that.
But that's another
Yes.
thing.
Yeah, you
But
don't pray. Just pray it out of us.
now
That's
you got
you need to go to
you
therapy.
need to get that devil rebuked up out of you. But that's another
that
topic
too.
on
That's
our next
another-
one.
We're gonna. Oh goodness, that's a good.
That's
topic.
a good
Let
one.
me write that one down.
So what I'm
Write that
saying
down.
is that even some of the things like growing up in the church hurt, it does affect how we view church now.
It is.
And
yeah.
it's and
Yeah.
and that still goes again back to certain experiences and
Yeah.
hurts goes
Yeah.
to how we believe in God, how we deal with
Yes.
church while we
Because
do
you have
it.
to, you
Right.
have to have your own relationship. At some point, I did take a step back. Even though I was in church, I was completely like I wasn't an atheist, but I had to ask myself, do I believe this just because my parents believe it? Because this is what they're teaching me. I had to ask myself, do I think this God they're serving the Jesus Christ who came through a virgin and what? Like, do
Sometimes
I
it be like, Lord, you be
like
reading
do I
like this.
believe this for myself?
What?
Do I believe you came to the world, died on the cross, and rose again? Do I believe that for myself, regardless of what you're taught? And the thing is, you need to study the word for yourself and get your own relationship so you can have your own foundational beliefs. Even though, that's no different than someone converting from one religion to another. You were taught that or grew up as that. But was that believable? Did you really believe that? Did that do something for you? And I mean, that's a whole nother topic. But it also goes along with church hurt because you can move from one church to another church as in denomination because of the different thought processes. And we could go AME, some sanctified holiness. It's all kind of Church of Christ, different denominations that don't believe certain things,
Right.
or only believe certain things. And
That's another topic.
That's another topic.
One Bible, one word. But I don't even know how many denominations we got. But that's another topic for another day.
Yeah. So in that, we all have a thought process. And my take home would be today is to sit and ask yourself, what do I believe? Because if you don't believe anything, what they say, if you don't stand for something,
you'll fall for anything.
You'll fall for anything. You need to believe something. Now, my take is I believe in Jesus. I believe that he died and he came and rose again. And I believe he came to save me. He was the ultimate. I believe that not because that's what I was taught. I believe that for myself because I studied and I looked at myself and I looked to say, oh my God, some of the things I went through in my life only
God.
could save me. That was the only reason I came out of some of those things. And I think that we are living testimonies and we're here to give a testimony. So, yeah, that's just my take on church hurt. We have to overcome some things,
Mm-hmm.
and move forward. Don't get stuck and stagnant. You know, we have to forgive. Forgiveness is definitely a
Oh
topic. Let
yeah,
me write
it's
that
it's
down.
it's so many types that, but I would just say for myself is what I learned is like she said, we grew up as preacher kids, so we heard it, we lived it, we breathed it. We had to be at church literally almost every
Every
day,
day of the week,
revival.
almost.
I mean, oh my
Yeah,
gosh. And in the
yeah.
beginning it does be like, oh, this is when you get move out, you like, I ain't going to church no more.
It
But
wasn't
I was like, I ain't gonna. But what I did, like she said, what I can say as far as the church hurt, but it still gave me foundation at
right,
the end of the day.
right, right.
And it kind of goes like with military. Like you don't like it when you're growing up, but it teaches you structure, it teaches you foundation,
Yes, it
it gives
does.
you something to
It does.
fall back on. And a lot of times our church hurt is we don't take that church hurt and leave the church. We take that church hurt and deal with the things that we need to deal with
Right,
within ourselves, within that church. And like that again, you can move from that particular building and not just the church overall.
right,
So for me, what I would say is that you have to. Why the reason why I believe in God and everything that has gone on is because of my own personal
right.
experiences
Exactly.
that I have been through, like you said, and it's
Mm-hmm.
nothing but God that has
Ooh,
done that to deliver me out of
pulled
those
me
things.
through.
So I
Oh
always
my
use
God.
the example of I believe lotion can moisturize me, but until I put the
Apply
lotion and
it.
apply it,
Come on,
the
five. She wanna preach. We gonna give her offering. Y'all pass the plate.
pass the flag. I need
That's
my own
good.
jet. But
That's good.
yes,
That's
but
good. No,
until
that's for real.
I
Faith
apply
without works is dead.
until I
Exactly.
apply the lotion,
You
that's
apply
when
it.
I know for
No, I
sure
know it
that
works.
the lotion
Yeah,
moisturizes. So you have to
that's a good
apply the
example.
word. You have to apply um, God Himself within your life
Right.
so that you know who He is for yourself. So
Yes.
what is our final? Because what time is
We'll just
winding up.
keep going.
Yeah, time is
This is
winding up.
the PKs in us. We are products of our
And we
fathers.
used to be
Okay.
bad.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I
we.
wasn't bad,
Oh,
bad. I was
well,
a little. I guess I was. We're gonna get into our own.
our own little
Yeah, we
stories.
have some
But
stories.
that's what the PK talk
Yes.
comes in. Is
Yes.
that see we went out there. Was raised in
Yeah,
church.
we
We
definitely were
went out
rebellious.
there and did our own little
Yes.
thing. But now we're back. So just
I
within
think
that,
yeah, I think you just have it's a testimony.
yeah,
And we are overcomers by the word of our
right.
testimony. And yes, we definitely have
Stories.
some stories.
Even that we
Okay.
did, like she said, we known each other over 30 years,
Yes, we
and we
have some
used to be
stories.
in mess together.
Yes,
That's the
we
bad thing
did, we
about it.
did.
But look, now we doing PK
We do
talk.
it
Come on now,
together.
come on,
God,
Jesus.
he'll full circle that thing. He'll turn it. He said, "What is it? It may have been bad, but he'll turn it out to
The
work it out
good
for our
that
good.
it may have been meant for evil, but
But
God
God will
turned,
work it out for
yeah,
our good, however it goes."
yeah, yeah. So
Okay, so look,
final remarks.
final remarks. Listen, if you are dealing with church hurt, you need to address it if you can, if you know that you can. If you don't feel safe, you need to get with someone that can be
Mediator.
a mediator and go and feel accountable. Uh, if somebody is not accountable, then you know that sometimes you can't deal with that.
Right.
You just have to just let it go and move on, but heal for yourself. Because if you don't deal with it, it lays in there and it builds up something else, and that's not good. That's a spirit that you don't want. Okay, unforgiveness and bitterness
Mm-hmm.
and all those different things, offense, spirit. You get those things out of you. That's what we want to take away from
Mm-hmm.
that. If you are dealing with church hurt, you need to deal with it. If you can't deal with it, get somebody mentor somebody you need to talk to. you need to release those things. You need to go through a purge and healing and all those things because it is real. Okay, we're definitely
Mm.
it's real. Also we are here uh for the foundation of healing, and we are here um like I said, from our own perspectives
Mm-hmm.
and our own backgrounds. And we believe that our stories and other people that are going to be on, our guests, they're going to have different, unique ways of things that they've overcome. At the end of the day, we're here because we're overcomers.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And so we're going to have our next topic, Ty, for next week.
What we talking about?
Next week, I think we should talk about. You said something about dressing.
Oh,
The
dress code.
dress code. We're gonna address dress codes.
Yeah.
Out of line. Flag on the
Quit
plate.
wearing them mini skirts trying to entice the pastor.
On the front row. They still do it. And the thing
And then
is,
get mad when she bring the long
sheet,
white sheet and cover you up.
Cover you up and tell you.
You know who you are.
Look, I have that reserve. They have those reserve signs where you can't sit on
just, wait. And just because you wear dresses to the floor don't mean you're gonna make it. So that's another dress code. Let's talk about it. I know some of them ain't gonna like they ain't gonna like it.
I don't think we gonna be like no, I'm not gonna speak that.
I ain't gonna say that we're not gonna be like, but you know what,
we gotta confront some
what,
things.
what my brother say now, he always say we gonna be like caviar. Because only certain people can eat caviar. It's an acquired taste. So everybody can't.
And it's rich.
Yeah, it's rich. So we gonna be like caviar. We gonna be like PK Talk is like caviar. It's only gonna be a certain type of people group that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I want to be able to reach the hood.
Well,
too.
I mean, but that's again that goes back to mindset. You gotta wanna. You gotta wanna.
I want to reach everybody.
But we're gonna reach everybody.
We care.
I'm not saying that we don't care, but I'm just saying that some things people are not.
Okay, now
you can reach everybody, but don't everybody is not gonna.
They're not gonna grab a hold.
They're not gonna grab a hold.
Well, we hope that everybody has a teachable perspective and spirit that you can
pray.
learn, that you can grow. If not, watch us anyway.
I mean, I know. Support anyway. We'll take the what is it? The controversy. If you got
the hate
or whatever.
If you want to hate, you can hate on us. We're okay with
we'll take it all.
We'll take it. But I think this is really just gonna be a great show.
It is.
And I'm excited about it. Our next week topic is gonna be dress code. Is it appropriate? Is it not appropriate?
I wish we could have some different denominations, like some Church of God and Christ, some Church of Christ, and some Jehovah Witness. That would be nice if we knew some different people. But
we gonna work up to that.
We're gonna work up to that.
Y'all need to stay tuned. I am Charmaine.
I am Ty.
Yes.
And what else? So next week we're going to be on what day?
So we're going to be on weekly Tuesday night.
Yeah, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yes, 7 p.m. Tuesday night. We want y'all to tune in. Are we done? Do you have a final thought?
Final thought would be on the lookout for our social media, but we'll have that next week because, like, so this is our first episode. So we'll have our social media next week, and I'm trying to think of what else. And so look out for that. And then we may also stream where we're able to do live, where you can comment and make comments to things that we're talking about. We're going to do different things. I believe you're really going to enjoy the show, and just keep looking out for us because we're here and we're gonna be up there. Yeah,
y'all stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Look, we started from the bottom.
We're gonna be up there.
We're gonna be up.
Y'all were like, ooh, I remember when they was still just.
We just started.
Charmaine and Ty, they just started. Now we done took over. We done took over with the PK Talk. That's my final thoughts.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. My thought is, hey, be encouraged. Keep going. Whatever you're doing and going through in life, understand it's just for a season. Nothing lasts. Everything is temporary. Don't get caught up on things. Let weights go, and don't carry things.
What the scripture say? Don't be worried about. Don't be anxious for tomorrow. What's the scripture say about tomorrow?
It's
tomorrow.
A couple of them.
Yeah, that
is not promised. Which one?
No, not that one.
Be anxious for nothing.
Yeah.
No, that's about prayers.
No, it's not about tomorrow.
What about tomorrow?
I can't think.
Let it worry about itself.
But I can't think.
Don't worry about what you're gonna wear, what you're gonna eat, whatever. That's one. scripture. We
Dang.
get our scriptures mixed up
Yeah,
because
so
sometimes
I'll have it right next week.
she have it next week. You know, don't tomorrow's gonna worry about itself.
Mhm.
My thing is this: be anticipating what you anticipate, and so that means you have to have good thoughts.
Intentional.
Be intentional. I did a word moment.
Yeah, do
Don't
your moment. Do your
okay.
word and get us out of here.
Okay, this will be the word that I'm gonna leave with y'all. Moments. Okay, you have 3 words in moment. You have mom, you have men, and mint. And sometimes we have to understand that moments are just what we need because mom is in there. Mom is what? Someone that gives birth to a child. And that doesn't necessarily have to be the natural, it could also be spiritual. And also, we need men to do that. Men, know your place, understand, be intentional about your moments. So you can also give birth to things because you are the seed bearer. So, in those moments, guess what? Understand, be intentional, and don't let them pass you by. That's all I have to say. It's PK Talk. I'm
Until
Charm.
I'm Ty. Until next time,
Next week.
we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Peace. No, are we doing peace?
No, no.
That's not.
God bless.
May the Lord bless you and keep you.
In the name of Jesus. Never leaving from his presence.
May he go with you. All the benedictions. All
And
right.
if you're a PK, you
You
already
already know.
know. Have a
You.
good night.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Bye.